Gotta love that Sonic music now, don't we? Greetings, everybody. My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everyone back again to another exciting session of the PokePod World Podcast. My name is KG Prestige, and of course, we are again here for another round of good old quality 2-hour content discussing things related to the Pokemon games and other gaming related stuff as well. You never know what's going to go down. KG should have used the Sonic Colors song. Really, honestly, the Sega Carnival one kind of fits a little bit better. Also, I was kind of in that what you call the Sonic craving with Sonic Riders anyway. The Sonic Riders OST is very underrated in my opinion. So I just felt like playing a track from there. And, okay, aside from that, though, I hope everybody's been doing, having a fantastic time so far, fantastic weekend. Hopefully you guys got the opportunity to go and watch the film that has blown everybody's expectation away, given that it's a video game film, and you guys already know the trope with video game films. Normally, they never really go so well. So, let's see how things turned out for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2020 film. Originally meant to release late last year, but now was postponed to, of course, February 14th of 2020. And it is a film that we're going to have a lot of fun to discuss. And then, of course, outside of that, we are also going to be taking the opportunity to talk about the recent Pokemon episode as well, which dives into something I'm pretty confident no one thought would actually happen so early on, being of Ash and Leon having a legit battle. So there's that to discuss, and then, if we have more time, we'll probably talk about other things we had initially planned to talk about last week, because as you guys already know, something happened last week, the Anime Awards, as I see you guys talking about in the chat. We might dabble on it a little bit. Well, we'll see how things turn out if we have time, of course, but let me go and hop into the call with my buddies, and then from there, we shall see where things go. Alrighty. Did it work this time?
Maybe!
Oh, hey, look at that. For once I got in a call and the goddamn thing doesn't randomly update to just mute you guys. I'm glad to hear you loud and clear, buddy.
You will not be silenced.
Oh, hey, there's my boy Evie. How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
All right.
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. I'm glad to hear, buddy. And, of course, we have our pal here, TSS, joining in on the fun, too. It's going to be a very fun night, I presume, anyway, given... We're doing 2 reviews this week. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And before we begin,
reviews.
before we begin, because Tyrone is taking his sweet ass time.
I mean, why not?
Why not, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I was late too because, so this weekend I decided that I was going to buy a new router. Because I'm going to return the Verizon one because number one, my bill's about to shoot up like freaking $40 in about a month and a half. And also I just wanted to save, and I wanted to save money because Verizon charges $12 for router rental. So I went and I bought an Asus RT ACR H13 AC1300 router. And I went and flashed OpenWRT onto it because you can actually do that. That's an open source firmware for the router. And it's been rock solid stable. Because I'll tell you this. Back about a few years ago, my friend had a Nighthawk router from like 2013 or 2014. That's a $300 router, and he was not able to get full gigabit speeds off of it. But now the $67 router can do that, and I'm really happy about that. I don't have Wi-Fi enabled because I have a Ubiquiti that handles my Wi-Fi. But what basically is that I not only set up a custom DynDNS stuff, so dynamic DNS. I have also configured WireGuard, which is a VPN, and it's much easier to configure than it is OpenVPN, and there's a lot less overhead. I was trying it tonight, and now I could finally fucking play. I could actually stream my stuff from my Windows PC off of Kodi, my Windows file shares over my onto my phone using the Wireshark. I almost said Wireshark. Wireshark is completely different. WireGuard, the WireGuard connection over my T-Mobile mobile connection. So I could literally watch. I could just like stream anime directly from my computer over the cell network without any repercussions.
Oh, wow. You know,
Don't even have to forward ports or anything. It's just it connects to it. It uses encrypted certificates, encrypted keys, and you have to put it on your host device and the peer device. You connect to that. You allow the router to do its thing, and it's running on the router, by the way, so I don't even have to do anything else. You just have to put the peer certificate in the router, and then you put the public certificate of the router into the app, and then it just connects, and then you can actually just it will treat it like you connected to your inside home network when you're outside.
Interesting.
And yeah, that's freaking amazing. It's much simpler than OpenVPN, because OpenVPN is a pain in the ass to set up a server. And this only took, after looking through the docs, it only took about maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, so just to
set it up. I did have to do like some trafficking rules in my router, but once I figured everything out, it just worked. And I don't have to do anything else. Also, I had to go into my Windows firewall because I have it shared on my Windows machine. And I had to allow the connections from the private addresses. So, yeah. So basically, yeah. Cody streams slow, but it works. But, I was able to watch, like, I don't know, Time BookCon 24 from my phone while it's connected on to T-Mobile through my home network. So that was fucking cool. So I'm very ecstatic right now. That means I could go anywhere on this planet and I will be able to connect to my home network.
Honestly, I have little to no knowledge regarding the whole router thing. The router I'm using is still that same old router I got from the cable network. And I have little to no knowledge how routers really, really work and the benefits you get from purchasing your own, because I keep hearing that it's so unique,
Well, it's not just that. You have to have software on the router to allow this. Because a lot of stock router firmware doesn't normally allow this.
Yeah.
You can't just go out and buy like a Linksys or Netgear and then just install like Wireshark. So I keep saying Wireshark, like WireGuard.
A wire what?
What? No. Let me explain. Wireshark is a network tool that's used to sniff packets and shit. WireGuard is the VPN service. The VPN server. Now, starting with Linux 5.6, it's going to be built into the Linux kernel. So, yeah, it's very complex, but if any of you tech guys out there, tech nerds, want to check it out, wireguard.com, read through the confs, but it's really cool. Less overhead than OpenVPN. It's better in every way. And yes, should definitely highly recommend it.
How much is it again?
Check it out. $0.
Excuse me, what?
All you have to do is set it up on all you have to do is set up a server. And you could actually port forward it through your router, by the way. Because I have it set to my router so that I can manipulate manipulate my whole network that way. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I run WireGuard on my router now. I don't have to run a server for it. So it's less of a hassle, because then all I have to do is just set up a client on my phone or on a laptop to just connect to like the host name. I have dynamic DNS. And then once it gets into there, establishes a connection, I'm connected to my home network. And I'm crazy about that. It's amazing. I gotta show it to you in practice, because I swear.
Yeah, actually, because like I'm hearing it via words, but I'm better with like visuals.
Yes, I'm gonna show this to you when I see you on Wednesday.
Like, how are you gonna carry that shit with you, though?
Wait, carry? It'll be on my fucking phone.
See, look, I'm so outdated with technology, man. Don't judge me, all right?
Hey, no. Listen. I knew absolutely zero about WireGuard until like 2 hours ago. Okay.
So you just learned this shit just recently?
Yeah, I learned this shit like 2 hours ago. Like literally 2 hours ago. I have a friend over in Europe. He said, "Oh, you should use WireGuard. It's amazing." And it's like, okay, I can do it. And it's like, okay, just here. Okay,
just casually,
here's
okay.
the web. Here's the Here's the website. Here's what you got to do. Here's some tutorial shit, and yeah, got the shit running in less than like an hour.
That is crazy.
Awesome. I know. Just imagine you have all your anime, right? And then you're able to you could if you have it shared on your home network, you can just connect it to on your phone or on the on your tablet or whatever using the WireGuard app. You connect in there. It's kind of like if anybody's used like NordVPN and shit, it's the same shit.
Nah, okay, I see what you're referring to now.
Yeah, except with those kind of, except with like NordVPN, you're isolated. But here, it's like you connect you connect to your home network. You connect to it, and you can see all the devices. Because public VPNs, like NordVPN, it doesn't allow it. Basically, you are just basically anonymous surfing. Mm-hmm. But here, you could basically connect using this app and connect to your home, and you could spoof that you're actually at home. like I was able to run the MyFios TV app. Was able to watch all of my channels just by connecting.
Yeah.
Because usually if you try to use like your TV service apps when you're outside your home, it doesn't give you as many channels. But when you're inside your home, it does. But with this, I can do that. I can get all of the fucking channels. So I'm happy.
Well, also,
it makes it very secure because now you can connect to a public fucking Wi-Fi and not get your data stolen.
I guess there's that too. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
Once again, I'm just more interested to finally see this via the visuals itself because.
I gotta show you. I'm gonna show you Cody on my phone. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, isn't it really interesting to kind of see how much technology has advanced so far to now? All that shit is like in the palm of your hands, really.
Well, and also it doesn't take fucking 6 years to set up.
And that's another thing. It's becoming more simplified as well for dumbasses like me who don't even know jack shit about the technology aspect. Like I told you, I have no knowledge whatsoever regarding routers, regarding all that stuff that you were talking about. But it is interesting to hear just the benefits of understanding tech to where you can use it to your benefits.
Some of our listeners out here are IT professionals. Well, how many people? Like maybe one or two people out there. I know Terrell is. Terrell is an IT professional. Listen. I just have to say, it's crazy to just experiment, and I love when experimentation works. I'm just flabbergasted.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, especially when you take something like 2 hours and then realize that shit doesn't work, and then you're just like. You get yourself a manual.
You have no idea. You have no idea. How about trying fucking 8 hours to spend on the fucking on fucking comp files and fucking Linux to try to get some fucking work and it doesn't fucking work. And you're up at fucking and you look at the clock and it's like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. The shit still doesn't work.
Oh well, I mean,
yeah. So, when you put it that way, I've done that many fucking times where I want to try something out and it's like. Look at the clock, 6-8 hours go later, and I got nothing. Jack shit. But this, I got it working in like 45 minutes. 45 minutes, I got the first client to work on my phone, and I was like, holy shit, it works. And now I know how to do it. And that means people have potential to do it elsewhere. What I want to do next. I want to do an experiment with WireGuard when the router cannot run it. I have to see how to do it that way. I think in that way, I guess I have to like set individual computers, but in the future, I'll figure that out.
Alrighty, yeah, one step at a time. Not everything just hammer in all in one shot,
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, that's what it is. I always say that life is always under construction.
Mm-hmm.
You learn new things, and great shit.
Yeah,
great shit. All right.
Now,
and Tyrone's still not fucking here.
I know, right? That's another thing. So, Evie, you want to take that opportunity to talk about something we had initially planned to talk about not too long ago, but due to certain little things happening between, we had to postpone that discussion, and I think it's the perfect time for us to talk about it. What do you say, buddy?
Well, sir, how did you read my mind?
Oh, okay. Well, perfect. Then I'm glad we're... See, this is why you're my co-host with these kind of discussions when we do the anime talk.
Yeah, so let's talk about...
And I'll be eating my bologna sandwich.
You do that, buddy.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and talk about the events that went down on the most recent Crunchyroll Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some mixed feelings about... I mean, some of the awards were well-deserved. Some of them are a bit of a mixed reception. Most in particular, the prime winner for Anime of the Year. So
I'm not surprised, honestly. I saw that shit happening a mile away, yet still, despite that, I'm still disappointed.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and break down each winner.
Alright, by any chance, do you have the list with you? Because okay, can you link me that? Because I'm trying to look for it as we're talking about this. And I've read the awards, I've seen them myself. I just don't have the list with me to kind of just break down the more memorable ones, or maybe the most controversial ones. There is one in particular that I really want to talk about.
Sure.
And that is the, let me see, it was I forgot what the name of the award was in particular.
Well, you could look at it like that. Just
an industry icon. There we go. An industry icon. Yes, I don't think that was actually part of like the main category that we had here. But there was.
We didn't get a chance to vote for that. No.
Yeah, they don't allow you to vote for that. I think that's something that they handled themselves. So they had an industry icon for this one, being of George Wada, the president / studio that is, handling Wit Studio. Of course, a lot of people might be familiar with Wit Studio, given, Attack on Titan, hell, even collaborating with OLM to create one of the most memorable Pokemon films, of course, Everyone's Story. I mean, there's that, so a lot of people are very happy to see Wit Studio win that part. They're not happy with how they presented it, is the issue. Because the issue about that is that they gave it to George Wada himself. The thing is, my problem with that is that while he is the president, and responsible for handling all that, I really feel like they kind of neglected like the main people who were responsible for creating the shows that we see ourselves. And also, a lot of people don't really have a lot of positive light when it comes to George Wada as a person, because there was a point, actually, where I believe he brought out, and this was true, according to some people online, somebody wrote right here, you had so many choices to give that award to, and you gave it to George Wada, the man who once called his staff zombies fueled by energy bars. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard regarding how you handle your staff, man. That shit ticked me off. I know.
Well,
oh my god.
Well, you're probably gonna have other companies where presidents and the higher ups. I'm pretty sure this is somewhat of a common thing in Japan, given its nature around the labor force.
But here's another thing as well, Evie. You know who deserved it, given everything that's happened?
Who?
You think if there's a studio from this year or 2019, who do you think deserved it? Personally.
Crap, I had to look back at the anime list because I think I know who you're KyoAni.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, given the events, and that's another thing that kind of surprised me too. Crunchyroll didn't really acknowledge KyoAni, especially after what happened last year.
Yeah, I was surprised. It's like everybody just brushed that to the side and just moved on, and I'm like, bro, at least acknowledge what happened to that, and kind of try to do some form of a tribute, because there were wonderful people who no longer are now a part of this world that I just feel like they just sort of brushed to the side. And I don't know, man. I feel like it should have been handled a little bit better for that aspect.
I hear you on that. Yeah.
Yes, but still, nonetheless, though, I'm not like, hurt by it or anything. It's just more so I was just kind of hoping like it would have been given to a studio, in my opinion, that I feel like deserved it.
Right. I mean, yeah. Given which studio did a good job knowing their impressive resume on some of the works, but like you said, I think it's the workers, the ones behind the studio, should have been at least acknowledged, or the ones given the award, or better yet, give it to Kyo Annie, or like you mentioned, there were other candidates that could have probably earned this award. So
yeah. Hell, even like at the beginning of the award show, you know what they could have done? They could have just done something like at the very beginning before like the actual show began, and just say, we remember the lives that were taken away from us from this horrific incident, and name every single individual that has unfortunately passed away. Like, that in itself would have been enough for me, because at least that would have told us that, yes, even during the brightest of times that now, are within anime, it's always important for us to reflect on those that we have lost and to acknowledge them and the work that they have created for us, because the shows that they've created for us have, ended up leaving a lasting impact on our memories, to where we remember it daily. And, it shows that deserves recognition. And I feel like a tribute, even like a little small tribute, like just a little, like a black screen with just text saying, remembering the lives that were lost, just something simplistic as that, I would have taken, in my opinion anyway. It just hurts me to see that they weren't acknowledged.
Right.
But that's all I gotta say on that aspect, and I know we have other awards to kind of talk about as we, I guess, wait for our pals to get into the call soon. So, that's just my gripe I have with this show, amongst all the other gripes. Mm-hmm. All right, then, Evie. So I want you to take it away from me. I want you to tell me some of the ones that, personally, you kind of were mixed about with the awards.
All right. So how about let's do this. So since we started off from the industry icon, let's work our way up to the anime of the year.
All right, then. Anime of the year. Let's get to it then, because how do you go any better than talk about another anime that I personally feel I don't think deserved it amongst the list there?
I mean, we mentioned this before. Something was fishy regarding this category, because you look at the other list. Yes, I know there was Mob Psycho 100. I know there was Finland Saga and The Promised Neverland. But you know that, at least when it comes to popularity, none of these other nominees would even touch Demon Slayer.
Like oh, Maidens in your Savage season, like. It's an anime, yes, but I've never once heard people talk about it in high regards like other shows presented here, like Mob Psycho, Vinland Saga, Neverland. Even Carole & Tuesday has a lot of recognition, given the studio working behind that show, and given the popularity of it being on Netflix as well, being more accessible for a lot of people outside of streaming platforms. Right. Oh, Maidens is one of those weird ass like choices that they had here that I feel could have easily been swapped with another great one. Like, I might not be a big fan of it, but Dr. Stone,
and I think from what I've been hearing from a lot of people, Shield Hero.
Yes,
Hero could have been Anime of the Year contender.
Yeah, that came out last year. How the hell was that not in the nomination for Anime of the Year? That anime alone, given the controversy and everything that happened, and getting to the finale and being very successful for what it is, it deserved to have at least be recognized for, Anime of the Year. Like, Oh Maidens could have easily been swapped out for Shield Hero, and I feel like it would have been a perfect, category.
Yeah.
But I feel it's just that one odd one in the bunch. I'm curious, in the chat. Though, Has any of you heard or at least seen somebody talk about Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season? Listen, no disrespect to the anime for even getting nominated for Anime of the Year. It's just I've never once heard anybody talk about that at all during the entire year of 2019. The first time I've heard about this anime was literally in the nominations for Anime of the Year. And that is baffling to me. Yeah, and I watch a lot of anime.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, typically when I approach some of these anime, I go for the ones that people would recommend others to go watch, and shows that at least personally appeal to me. I have not heard not one person say to go to watch All Maidens in Your Seventh Season. I didn't hear anyone in person, nor anyone from social media platforms. Hell, not even anyone in the YouTube comments. I don't think I ever heard anyone recommend All Maidens in Your Savage Season. It's just so absurd that there's always going to be that one anime that oddly makes it into these kinds of categories,
Yeah. Okay, Robin from Anime America. Okay, so she's like the only exception because, like, all right, there's one, I guess, out of like millions of people. So, yeah. I don't know, man. It just felt weird for me personally.
Yeah, but... of course, given the given the contention around this category, and it was a pretty easy and obvious win for Demon Slayer for Anime of the Year. Yeah. I mean, mind you, yes, it does deserve it, but there was not much contention in this category. Is what we're trying to say.
Indeed, man. I'm just kind of like a little iffy on that one in particular. Everything else, personally, to me, is fine. It's just that odd one. And that's going to be our Sonic movie review. Thanks, everybody, for listening to it.
All right, we're in the stream, everyone.
Yeah, let's move on into our Pokemon movie review now, then. Oh, hey, Tyrone.
Hey, what's up?
We just finished
Pokemon
our Sonic movie
review, huh?
Yeah, we just finished our Sonic movie review, so...
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, so...
No.
No, we're just kidding. We haven't even talked about it yet. We're waiting for you, buddy. Yes.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
No, well, good. Listen, man, you're like the Sonic... whatever that big word is,
Oh, okay.
Sonic Racing.
Yeah. What was it called? Efficiency or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, it's Sonic Aficionado?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much.
You were so damn close. That's what bugged me.
I wish I knew that word, but listen, my words aren't that high quality.
Are we going? Is this our spoiler review, or is this our wait till people get to watch it so we just say how we felt review?
It's a Sonic movie, man. Like,
it's
nowhere near like the level of, say.
It's not Avengers.
It's not Avengers tier. But before we get into that, though, Evie, once again, of course, thanks for the chit-chat on the Anime Awards thing. I feel like we're going to probably talk a little bit more about that when we get into our
anime
this podcast. Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, there's that. And we also got about 2 weeks worth of anime that we need to cover.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be a fun session. Hopefully we'll get it by this week. So, folks, stay tuned on Twitter, social media. Hopefully nothing happens in between. So, let's hope this week we'll have a good anime pod for the night. So, now, let me go and take this chance to kind of set things up for our Sonic movie review. Tyrone, how have you been doing, buddy, since you finally hopped into our call now?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I had a late night today at work, so I'm rushing in. But
no, it's good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. And I saw the Sonic movie yesterday, and obviously I have thoughts about it. So,
all right,
don't we all?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the fucking floss. Do the fucking 12 FPS football.
Do this.
The Poke Floss.
Poke Floss, yeah.
Yeah, hold on. But first, I need to go and make sure I actually get the image set up for this. So I hope you guys don't mind.
Football because fucking XFL, that's why.
Yeah, don't you love that? All right then, guys. Let us a Goose Game. I forgot. Let me bring this up while I'm still doing this. Congratulations to Untitled Goose Game for being literally Game of the Year of 2019, or as I like to call it, Goose of the Year. Hell yeah,
I knew
baby!
you were gonna do that shit.
All my fellow Goose brethren and sisters out there. Yeah, honks in the chat, everybody, for our Untitled Goose for winning an award that I feel was so deserving. And it just made me laugh that it actually defeated the likes of Kojima and Devil May Cry and all that shit.
Well, nobody liked that. Nobody liked that baby anyway, so fuck him.
Oh man, but yeah. So congratulations to Goose. You made your other fellow Goose brethren proud.
Yeah.
Now,
also, and this will be around when we talk about the Pokemon anime, obviously. But I have a topic that me and Lumio's trainer Zach briefly shared on Twitter.
nice. All right, we'll get to that.
Actually, I have one comment to say that as well. Probably a different post. However, I'm gonna let my thoughts known as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Oh, we'll save it for the end.
I'm saying during the anime topic. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
After.
All right.
Shall we get into it then, guys?
Let's do this thing.
Alrighty. Let's get to it. So, ladies and gentlemen,
gotta go fast.
Yeah, so we have to go fast because we have 30 minutes to get into this review for Sonic the Hedgehog 2020, originally meant to release in late 2019. But
November.
Given, the first trailer releasing and
it's hideous, kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you, nope, remake this shit.
Yep.
And
no, I still will say the best artwork that came out of the original art was Sonic sitting in a ring, and then you see the freaking Twin Towers. That's bad. But to consider that a freaking a thing like that was the best part of it, that's kind of bad.
Damn.
Anyway.
Well, I guess the only thing I could say to this is meow.
Well, there's only one way up. Yeah.
Alright, so thankfully with all the redesigns that happened, a lot of people were now noticing one big thing. Despite the art style change, did the movie still perform well in terms of the content that's provided in the film? Was it still good? Did the art style save it? Did the art style ruin it? Let's discuss. And Tyrone, as I mentioned before, you are a big Sonic fan. At least from all of us here, I believe you are probably the biggest Sonic fan in the call here. And yes. I'm really, really curious to hear about your thoughts about this film the most, because in our last discussion for this, you were very critical on the film before it even dropped, man.
And I always know I seem like I come off as negative, but I only do that out of love. If you care about something and you know it has potential, then you're not gonna accept just anything. You got to set it on its own standards. So you when you set your expectations high, it's not because I'm being strict. It's because this is art we're dealing with, and art needs to be taken seriously. If you accept anything, then anything's gonna go through.
Yeah.
like have standards. It's the reason we do reviews. It's the reason we review the anime. It's the reason we review movies. We review these things because they are constructive criticism. Constructive criticism allows people who make the content to work better at making the content. Giving us
quality content for us to enjoy.
Yeah, is that giving us the quality content that we deserve. So, with that being said, Sonic, I set a really low standard for this movie because it came off as one of those buddy cop movies. You know the ones where a cop or somebody in an official stance of authority teams up with an unlikely ally. They had one where this one chick was a detective or whatever, and she teamed up with a puppet. That happened. They had one where Whoopi Goldberg, for Christ's sakes, teamed up with a T-Rex.
Oh, dude, that was my favorite worst film, man.
Right. It's one of those, hell, technically, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a buddy cop film, but they made it work because it worked within the dimensions of how well they knew how cartoons work. The movie mostly takes place in the realm with the toons. They are the focus. The movie rarely focuses on the real guy. I mean, he's a focus because he's the main character, but they don't rest on him. Right. And too many times, like in Transformers, we get so much backstory about the human being. I don't give a
more Michael Bay.
Right. I don't give a shit about the human being. I care about Optimus Prime fighting Megatron. So with that being said, how did this movie hold up with the whole buddy cop formula? It did really well because it focused on Sonic. Sonic was always the focus in the movie the whole time, and thus it already exceeded that level of expectation that I had for it. It focused on Sonic. The movie was about Sonic. And one of the things they also did was Tom Wazowski, I think is his name.
Yes.
Yeah, this picture right here is actually a perfect example.
Thank you.
I just had to bring it up.
Oh my god, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, actually. Anyway, so Tom Wazowski, he's already married. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad Patty, the wife, isn't the girl. You know the one, the girl, the main character's trying to get with, and Sonic will come up to him and be like, "Why don't you tell her how you feel?" And he's like, "I can't do that. She's just too." And then he's like, "Well, you just gotta." And then, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They actually already had them married. And they work well as a husband and wife duo. Like even when Sonic is brought to her sister's house in San Francisco, I think.
Yes.
Before we continue, spoiler territory, by the way, for those of you who haven't.
Oh shit! Sorry, spoilers. Yeah, spoilers.
Once again, is it really a spoilers for a Sonic film?
Yeah, because it's a plot.
It's opening weekend.
I guess.
So some people will, but prepare if you don't want to. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. We're going to stay within the 30 minutes timeline, and then once we get to 10, we'll get off the topic. So head back here at 11 your time, I guess, if you want to watch the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind keeping this podcast for a little bit longer if we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but I'm going to try to be as brief as possible on this because the movie wasn't a cinematic masterpiece, but it definitely exceeded my expectations of what I thought they were going to do. They didn't do what most buddy cop films do, and they didn't do like all the cliches. Like I thought that the minute the wife saw Sonic, she was just going to freak out for like a good half of the movie, asking all these questions. They're running away from Robotic, and she's like, "Tom, what is happening? What is that?" No, she doesn't question any of it for real. Her sister does all of that, and they ignore her. If anything, it's like a joke. It's like they're parroting action movies that actually do that shit.
Well, to be perfectly honest, you also have to remember that at the beginning of the damn film, they do show on the TV screen Speed and freaking Naked Gun. So I knew that they were going to freaking do. Yeah. They weren't going to take this shit seriously.
If you're a hardcore fan, there is a lot of good Easter eggs. My favorite one being Crazy David or whatever, Crazy Dave. He's saying yeah. He's saying the Blue Devil exists, and he shows a picture of what he looks like, and it's Sonic.
That was the best shit ever.
That was awesome.
My favorite reference, however, was at the beginning of the movie where they show Sonic. First of all, they play "Don't Stop Me Now," so that's freaking Yeah, but you know what's funny is while that's playing, freaking Sonic is reading a Flash comic, and you know Queen did the soundtrack for Flash in 1980.
That.
Yes.
I also love
that. I love that.
Basically, what I like about this movie, as you guys were bringing up these references, pretty much what makes this movie stand out. References galore.
Yes.
And we're not just talking about the video games, but just some of these real life references that Sonic brings up, knowing for who he is as a character.
Mm-hmm.
I think the writers did a pretty good job using.
They did their research. They definitely did their research. It's just like with Detective Pikachu. We're dealing with people that legitimately grew up with these franchises, and thus they're able to give us accurate representations of what's going on.
Yeah. And Sega Sammy gave their stamp on this. So you know it's going to be good.
And a video game movie is always hard to do simply due to the fact that video games, unlike stories, books, and movies and stuff, video games lack context per se because it's really up to the player to jump in and sort of grow along with the game. When the first Sonic game starts, there's no cutscenes, there's no lore, you're just in Green Hill. You run, you go. If you want a story, you look into the instruction booklet, and even then, it doesn't give you much. It says, hey, Sonic is a blue hedgehog, and he's going to stop Dr. Robotnik from taking over all of these critters. That's it. Now go. Play the game, damn it. Why are you still reading this?
Nobody reads the fucking manual anyway.
So they don't have much to work with. So the fact that they were even do little things like make the tribal guys that were chasing Sonic for his powers the echidnas, so that means Knuckles is going to show up at some point.
And I feel like that's probably going to be a key plot point for... Well, actually, never mind. We'll talk about that soon.
They definitely set up a universe.
They set it up.
The taxi riding universe, as you can see from this image here.
Yeah, the taxi riding, the cinematic taxi riding smash.
Your Uber's arrived.
Uber universe.
The Smash Brothers Uberverse.
I'm just saying, they're going to bring up an Uganda Knuckles reference that they ever.
If you know the way.
Oh God! No. They're probably gonna have No, they're gonna probably have like a drawing or something on the wall, something in the back wall, some shit.
It's gonna be like a caveman drawing, and it's like a Ugandan Knuckles.
Yeah.
No,
or just have it like to show it like in a classroom, and then it will just say like "Dewey."
Police reports saw that in Uganda there was a giant red echidna-based creature that was roaming the streets, causing massive collateral damage. But no one knows exactly where he is. Here's what the locals had to say: "Do you know the way?"
They gotta do that.
Yeah, but
can I just jump in real quick to talk about something, because we're talking about some of the references and all that.
Sure.
Of course, the big reference, I guess you could say, is literally at the start of the film, because it starts off in an area that I would have really loved to have seen a film be entirely based on.
Green Hill.
Yeah, I know people despise Green Hills a lot because it is...
Technically, the town is called Green Hills.
Okay, so I mean, yeah. Okay, but can we just talk about the story element of this film? Because they took Sonic in a completely different direction than what we've gotten used to, because they
gave him a mom. I mean, he has a mom in the Archie comics, but they gave him a mom.
He has a tragic story in this film, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually very heartbreaking when you really start like breaking down all the nitty-gritty details about like what happens to him, because the thing I like about it is that the beginning of the film explains why Sonic acts the way he does throughout the entire film leading to the finale. Go on.
You just touched on something, but basically, yeah, like when he's in the ballpark and he's having that little tantrum about him being alone, which causes the power outage. In my mind, I'm thinking Sonic would never act like this. But then I thought about it. Sonic wouldn't act like this, but the movie set up for him would act like this. Right.
Yes. And he carries throughout the whole plot. And there was even a good element where I was really enjoying it when when they actually had a dispute in like the middle of the film. And of course, Sonic went his own way before eventually coming back.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when Tom kicked him out of the truck, and he runs all the way like west, and he ends up in the fucking like Pacific Ocean, comes back with fucking seaweed and shit. Like, I don't know where I'm going.
I like that because he took west literally, basically.
Yeah, he literally went west and just not stop, man.
One of the things also too that I appreciate that in the movie they did a good job with the idea of the buddy thing. They did a good job with the buddy thing to where it was easier to ease into, because technically Sonic is a stalker. Which, stopping to think about it, could you imagine the first trailer Sonic being a stalker?
No. Well,
could you imagine the first Sonic being in this entire film? Is the real question.
It would be creepy as fuck.
Release the Sonic cut. No, seriously, I want to see that pre-release Sonic cut, man.
That's probably just gonna be like a bonus feature or something.
Yeah, instead of like the Snyder cut, give me the Sonic cut. I need to see that Sonic cut, man, so badly. I want to see how this film would work in the old Sonic design.
I want to say also that I really liked what was it? Damn, I lost my train of thought. But actually, maybe not. So, in terms of like the flow of the story, so you have Sonic. So Sonic causes the giant power outage by running around the baseball diamond, and then the U.S. government freaking gets involved, and that's when we get introduced to Robotnik.
Well, let me ask this first before we get into Robotnik, because he's just fucking gold.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about Sonic's electricity powers? Because at first I was bugged about him when I saw him in the trailer because they were advertising them so much, but he rarely uses it.
No, he really doesn't.
He doesn't abuse it, so I was able to accept it. If anything, and I'm jumping ahead real fast just to prove my point. When he uses it, I like to think this is the invention of the spin dash.
Yeah.
I like to think this is how the spin dash was made. Essentially what the electricity is kinetic energy. They're going off Flash logic, basically.
Yeah. which I think works for a movie film rather than like a game or a TV film.
Especially when you consider the fact that Robotnik uses the power so that his machines can keep up with Sonic's speed. I love that shit.
Because it's like it's made of electricity, therefore it's gonna be the thing that will, energize the machines to keep up with this man.
To keep up with Sonic. I like that. It makes perfect sense how Robotnik will be able to keep up with Sonic's speed with his robots because his robots are being powered by the same stuff that Sonic's being powered by. I can accept a world where that happens. Now, with that said, TSS, you can go ahead and I'll give you the startup to Robotnik because that motherfucker, Jim Carrey, killed it.
First of all, I just love the fact that you have like a freaking like a CIA fucking war room scene, which is just like it's like, do we really want to call this guy? This guy's
it's literally a release the hound. Yeah, it's literally a release the hound scene. It's like I don't want to do it, but we got no choice.
We got no choice, and then all of a sudden you see Jim Carrey come out. Then they have an APB coming out, and you see Robotnik in his truck. And he just comes out and he just completely fucking grills
my boy
the
Jim
fucking army people.
I love Jim Carrey. Yeah. He didn't miss a beat. Like he stopped acting for a while, came back, and was just as strong.
Oh no! Here's the thing: he's been acting.
He's been acting, but it's just that he hasn't been great. I would say this performance is just as good as his SNL days and his Ace Ventura days and Liar Liar. Talking about that time between like 1991 and 1997 when he was on the top of the world.
Before the 2000s.
Boy, it went in. Now, obviously, at the start of this, I love Jim Carrey, but I was even having my this is weird. And I said this was weird because he doesn't look like Robotnik. He doesn't look like Eggman, but it's clear what's happening. He's becoming the Eggman that we know.
This is like a prelude to his
origin story, basically.
Yeah, this is more of like an Eggman story than a Sonic story.
Like the iconic red suit that he has. That's his flight suit. It's meant to prevent air resistance and drag. Yet you are one. I love that. And I'm like, yeah, that's the suit that Eggman wears. And then obviously when he's in the mushroom world, he's there for so long, his facial hair grows, so he's becoming Eggman. He is becoming the Eggman we know and love. And honestly, I can dig that. I can dig his dialogue. I can dig the fact that he shuts out pretty much every human except for his damn lackey. I like the fact that he prefers machines over humans because machines are perfect. I like the fact that they are all shaped like eggs. It's Eggman. He is doing a good Eggman. It's a little bit more insane, but then again, Eggman is a mad scientist for a reason, so that's fine by me.
Jokes, like it's not just simply the jokes; it's the delivery of them, man.
Yes,
and some of them are so spot on. My favorite bits, to me personally, are the moments when Eggman and Sonic have their encounters, which is very odd because like they don't really talk a lot. It's more of them duking it out. But when they do talk, it's so good, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I love. I love when he's actually menacing in this too. Eggman's never been scary to me except for fucking The Adventures of Sonic, the Sad AM one. Sad AM. Sorry, Sad AM. Adventures, the one where he's snooping as usual. So he's actually kind of menacing in this. Like there's levels of threat that he brings upon when he talks to like regular people. When he's talking to a regular person, he can outsmart them like, oh hell.
It's really cool. I love it. But I also want to bring up another key moment that I was kind of like, and that's the dance scene.
The dancing. Yeah, that little montage.
Can we?
For the source of power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch that one thing that happened in the dance by any chance? I'm kind of curious.
I'm trying to remind myself what happened.
It's like the bit where it's like as if his head gets chopped off.
That was hilarious.
That was like the most what the hell happened here, but don't mind me. I'm gonna just enjoy this while it's going on.
He's great. He's great. I love the treatment he has on everybody, and his intern or lackey or whatever have you. That poor man. That poor guy.
He's gonna become the real villain of the story.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if he becomes a villain later, because that poor guy. But yeah, Jim Carrey knocked it out of the park. Dude definitely made me want to see more of him in the future as Eggman. And the nickname Sonic gave him, which is Eggman, that fits comfortably. That makes perfect sense.
Also, you want to talk about nicknames? Actually, are we done with Jim Carrey?
Donut Lord, Pretzel Girl.
Yeah.
Pretzel Girl.
And Pretzel Girl.
Yeah. I like that. I thought that was nice. Like Evie said, is everybody done with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I think
I mean, like I said, I would say this is probably his best performance in like over 20 years.
His robots are fucking menacing too, by the way. I mean, they're just simple egg designs, and I'm pretty sure they'll get wackier as time passes because obviously he's been secluded from society for so long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, this makes perfect sense. His robots look like eggs, thus he got the name Eggman. All right, I can deal with that.
Yeah. We're going, Evie?
Yeah,
I do want to bring up another favorite moment, which personally to me is a very sweet and very nice moment. The moment when Sonic got his red shoes from that little girl.
Yes.
My only question is, where the fuck did she get them?
It's the Captain Marvel logic. They just sort of just come up out of nowhere.
They just appear.
I just bought it from Foot Locker. It's 5-minute shipping.
I like to assume she took them off of a doll or something that she probably had. Like a life-size bear or some like huge
sponsored by
FIFAs. Right. I just assumed she probably took them off of a giant animal, a stuffed animal.
I swear to God, I was so scared because if I was seeing shoes, that means Sonic had to take out, his feet.
Yeah.
And I was so scared about that.
They kind of showed them and kind of not.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you kind of hit that a little bit. Okay, I'm good. Never mind. I just don't need to see them because the mystery of them being either actual human feet or just straight up a nub, that needs to still stay as a mystery, okay?
Right. Some things are just better left unsolved.
Exactly. So that's just one of them. But now, since, we got that out of the way, we got the story elements out of the way, we got the characters development out of the way.
I guess we could talk about Patty for a brief second because she plays a pivotal role. Like she does her job. She wasn't a liability. That's another thing about buddy cop movies. The girl gets in the trouble and we gotta save her because she's a woman.
But there's like none of that, really.
Yeah, it's an interracial it's an interracial couple and they're both on even stance. And this is how you do feminism, by the way. You don't do it by making her have a woman scene. Like knowing this, that Amy would probably be in it and then both of the girls would have their own scene and the camera would pan to them going, look at girls being strong. No, this was the minute she knew what the situation was. She used her ability as a veterinarian. She cured Sonic up. And then she asked a few questions, but she didn't bog down the movie with, oh my God, Tom, what's going on? Who are these guys? What do they want? Like all of that. I hate that shit. I hate that in action movies. Yeah. Like wives are the worst thing to happen to action movies because they just ask questions. So many to the point where it's inappropriate. You can ask them when there's a beat to calm down, but we don't need to see that whole thing because we just saw what happened. We don't need to be explained that stuff. You can literally and transition to another scene and go, oh, okay, I get it. So you're basically telling me that
yada yada.
Right, but Patty gets it. She's like, she doesn't understand the whole situation, but she knows enough to know that she's got to do what's right. So she doesn't bog down the movie with questions and getting kidnapped and, if you want to save your girlfriend, then hand over the fucking hedgehog or whatever. Like,
it's Madden, by the way.
You said what?
It's Madden? What? I heard that.
I said it's Maddie, not Patty.
Oh, Patty. I'm sorry. Oh, Maddie.
It's Maddie, yeah.
Oh,
Maddie.
Wait. What was her sister's name?
You're saying?
The sister's name was Rachel. Maddie's
sister. Maddie and Rachel. Okay, I thought it was
Where'd
Patty.
the P come in this?
You want to know where it comes from?
Because of
Pretzel Lady.
Oh.
Yeah. Because her name is Pretzel Lady. I took the P and I put it in front of her first name. Yeah, to make the two conjoined. Okay, yeah, she's called Pretzel Lady because she does yoga, by the way. So when Sonic sees her, she looks like a pretzel.
Ah, okay, I get you.
Yeah, and then Donut Lord because he talks to donuts.
He just talks to a fucking donut.
Yeah, he just talks to fucking donuts.
Yeah, and of course, apparently he could talk to animals.
Yeah, and Tom's got charm. He's not just he's not just one note. I'm glad they made him like that. They gave him a very established character because for the most part in cop buddy movies, cops all have the same type of like situation. they're a pro cop, but they never listen to any of the rules, but then they get partnered up with an unlikely motherfucker, and he's like, I don't work with other people, I work alone. And they're like, you're working with this guy now, John, if you want to keep your job. And I was sick of that. So I'm glad Tom is a very established person. He loves animals. He likes to protect people. He is a good dude. He's just a generally good dude. So I'm glad they didn't bog him down with the responsibilities of trying to be that cop that's like a lone wolf cop. He's a generally good dude. So with that being said, I think the humans in this movie weren't annoying. In fact, they all actually had some pretty colorful personalities. I like the dim-witted cop Wade. I like the fact that the crazy Dave brought a fucking chainsaw to the fight.
Also, can we just talk about how come all the buddy cop films always bring them to like a hidden ass bar in the middle of goddamn nowhere?
Okay, see that cliche? Yeah, that happened.
And also, did you guys see the concept art for that shit? It looked like Chris Evans and Thanos was gonna be in this film too.
Yeah.
But what I really did like is certain sections of the movie where Sonic obviously moves really fast, so basically everything comes down to a standstill.
Yeah,
I love that fucking effect.
I call it the Quicksilver effect. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody actually said about that as well in the chat. It says Jordan says, what about the Quicksilver-like scene at the bar?
Yeah, I call it the Quicksilver effect. I think Flash did it too in the Justice League, but Justice League was so bad it didn't deserve it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, Justice League was bad, but yeah, I liked the bar little fun scene. I mean, it's a bar fight.
See, like,
go ahead,
I kind of wonder why they were like, like you said, like this random bar in the middle of fucking nowhere, right?
I'll tell you why, Evie. Because remember, I'm sorry. I want to backtrack a little bit, because since Sonic got found out, he started writing a bucket list because he didn't know what a bucket list was. Yeah. So because of that, because one of the things on his list was to go to have a bar fight, they kind of opened that up. So
I like to think he made that list as he was going. Yeah. Go ahead, Evie.
Go ahead.
No, that's exactly what I was going to bring up, because he had that bucket list that Sonic wanted to do.
Because all the time Sonic was actually in the real world, he didn't really get to do much real work.
Go Evie.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
I will say there's one little thing that I didn't really like about this movie, just this one particular part, and it's because they gotta pull the power of friendship.
They did.
Yeah, that was when as you guys know, that's when Tom was confronting Dr. Eggman, letting him know that he never gives Sonic up because he is friend. He's his friend, and of course out of nowhere Sonic
he went Super Saiyan.
He basically turned Super Saiyan. Yeah, he just filled with all this electricity around him. So
I think at the end of the day, because I didn't really dig that too either. You're right. I think really what it was, guys, this is still a movie primarily
for kids.
Towards kids. So we gotta
towards kids,
we gotta do it.
Yes, I get it. Like Sonic and Tom went through a lot in this movie, but as for friendship to wake up Sonic and find his source of power, it's like
I kind of wish that they're and I know this is a stretch, but I'm going for it. I kind of wish that during their fight, when they made it to Green Hills, they busted at like a jewelry store that was in Green Hills. And Sonic gets shot down and he falls, and the jewels that were in the jewelry shop crashed, and one of them is a diamond that falls and rolls towards Sonic while he's KO'd. And he touches it when he's trying to get up. And it glows. And if you all know what I'm talking about, Chaos Emerald. That's what I would have.
But how would the Chaos Emerald go from like another universe into the Earth, though? That for a plot storyline,
they would have to do like a thing to make it work.
But with that being said, though, the second film might potentially do that.
The second film's probably going to use them.
All right, so let's actually bring this up real quick, because there is a reason why we're talking about there being a second film.
Right.
If you did not stay for the credits, or were very unfortunate enough to have one of those
stupid,
theaters,
number one.
yeah, which is also
they
also this is another bad thing as well. If you also in a theater that the people decide to just turn off the film during the middle of the credits because who's going to stay after the end, that kind of theater. That sucks. By the way, yeah, particular things happen in the end of that film. Of course, obviously the two things I believe it was, right?
Yes.
Eggman is in. I'm just calling it Mushroom Hill Zone.
Yeah, the Eggman's transformation, and then some fox boy shows up, and
fucking
you see
Tails!
him, like you see his design, which also makes me
great.
Also, I'm kind of curious. What was his original design? I need to see the original design.
Oh no, the Gangsta Paradise Tails.
He comes out of the ring and there's like slowly fading in Gangsta's Paradise song in the background.
Yeah. He looks fucking great, and he sounds because he talked. He literally couldn't. They didn't have to make him talk. He could have just stood there.
Did they get the VA for Tails from the show?
It sounds like
VA.
it.
She's the current VA.
Yeah.
Colin Villard. She's the current voice of Tails in the video game series.
Yeah, and she almost sounded like fucking Tails' voice actor in Colors, which was Kate Higgins. Like, this is a good Tails. They got the Tails was fucking perfect.
Somebody says in the chat, yes, they did. It's in the cast list.
Yeah.
They
got real Tails. I'm like, Tails looks good, sounds good. Shit.
Animates good.
That's the part of the movie, because I laughed a little at some of the jokes.
Cringed at a few.
Cringed at a few. But that part right there made me go, just start clapping. Everybody else is looking at me like I'm fucking crazy, and I'm just clapping my ass off.
Everybody else in that movie, first of all, there's a few people that were getting up, and I said, it's like, no, you're going to sit down.
Oh, a lot of people got up in mine, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, people were applauding.
Well, they thought they
it's
were
Sonic
thinking,
film too.
Yeah, they thought, okay, it's not a Marvel film. It's not going to do. And I'm like, hold on. Movies really like after credit scenes sometimes now. So let's see what this has got. And this movie opens up for a sequel. It's not like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, which I will say.
Go ahead.
Which brings up this. Detective Pikachu had a good run, but unfortunately, Sonic officially took over as one of the biggest weekend openings for a video game adaptation.
Yeah.
And to be fair, actually, the Sonic movie had less fluff scenes than Detective Pikachu did.
Yeah. I also like the fact, and just real fast here, when we were talking about Easter eggs, I like the Smash Brothers pose Sonic made when he was running Eggman.
That's a nice little touch there.
Yeah,
and also, they recently had like a celebration, I think, Sakurai recently with some of his tweets for Sonic.
Yeah.
I also like the Green Hailstone piano melody.
That was nice at the end of the movie. That was cool. That was cool. I liked that.
Damn.
Also, and this is just about this was about my theater in general, and I really appreciate them for this. While we're waiting for the movie to start, because it was so weird that I said, 1 ticket to Sonic, please. And the guy looks at me, and then he looks over there, and he goes, you might want to stand over there then. I'm like, okay. And I just stand in this random spot, and then suddenly, when the movie's about to start, the line builds up like crazy behind me. I'm like, oh, he got me in first in the line. And then when we got in the theater, we were waiting for the movie to start. So the movie screen's just black. It's just playing like house music at this point. But the house music was fucking video game songs. It was Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 music.
Whoa, really now?
Yeah, it was Legend of Zelda music. It was Green Greens from Kirby.
Also, is the Budokai music the main theme song though?
They played the one song that plays when you're fighting in Dr. Jiro's Red Ribbon.
I would have loved if they played the opening one. That would have been great.
Oh no, they did. Yeah, they played that one, and then they played Pumpkin Hill. I'm like, whoa, hold up, they're playing fucking video game music as the house music.
Also, Tyrone, just a little fun fact as I'm looking at the cast list here. So, Gary Chalk, who previously voiced Grounder and Robotnik in the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog series and Sonic Underground, he made an appearance as a military officer.
Yes,
in this film.
That's he did.
Yeah, he did. That's a nice touch. Like I said, the little Easter eggs are very appreciative of people who actually grew up with Sonic for a long time. I like that, but it doesn't pound your face with them. That's what I love.
That is a key important thing. Yeah.
The movie is working so hard. The movie's working so hard to make its own story. So it's not trying to bombard you with references. They have references if you can find them, like Easter eggs, but they're not like saying, "Oh, look at this, remember this."
Nice.
Like
they did a reference to Vin Diesel, which of course is Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Now I have one gripe too about the movie, aside from that scene that you were talking about, because that one was one of my cringeworthy, like, the power of friendship brought Sonic to his ultimate, whatever. My little gripe is the way they handle Tom's wanted status. Because as much as we like to admit it or not, Robotnik was the villain, yes, but he was working for a government official. So for Tom to punch him and then run away and then be all over, only to come back completely scot-free.
Yeah, that's the
bugs
thing.
me.
It's like...
Well, then again, though, it's like those people that they erase people from the government. So it's like,
but if they wanted to erase him, then they wouldn't have even put him as a wanted man in the first place. The minute they put him on the news, even his wife says it. The minute he comes in, Maddie's like, "You've been all calls." That means city-wise, well, not even city-wise, nation, U.S.-wise, he's a wanted man. So on site, he should have been like pursued, but they didn't.
Right. Also, go on, Evie.
Go ahead, KG, since you went first.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, I just love how Sonic and Eggman technically did a Superman, Man of Steel kind of thing in this film, where they kind of killed mostly a lot of people, if you think about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want you to think about the moment when Sonic went under the bus and the bus exploded. That bus had to have been driven by somebody. That man in there, probably, if he was by himself, he died by himself. If there were people in there, they straight up died. Of course, it makes sense for Sonic's logic because he never really knew anybody and therefore doesn't really connect with anybody. So he doesn't really think about that sort of thing. But yeah, people died in this film like as if in the Man of Steel film where the Superman just comes and kills everything and everyone.
And I want to make the logic known also, and this will probably defend the problem I had with the movie with the whole handling of Tom thing. So Robotnik pursues him, but no one actually sees Sonic. Like, Robotnik's the only one who actually sees Sonic. Everybody else, more or less, with the exception of Tom and his wife and their family, they know Sonic exists because that's the only time where Sonic is stationary. Sonic's running pretty much majority of the other times. So as far as they're concerned, Robotnik was just destroying the city, and they just saw like a blue blur. Yeah, a blue blur. So all in accounts, I guess he caused so much collateral damage, it was safer to just erase Robotnik from the whole situation, and thus Tom is free.
Well, then again, though, you got to also remember that, for all intents and purposes, when he gets freaking shafted to the mushroom world, it's like he doesn't exist in this world, so therefore erased.
Yeah, like they don't want to associate with them anymore. If anything,
but I got to talk about
a wild goose chase.
I got to talk about the end of the damn film because it's after all this shit. So the general comes up, the CIA agent comes up and fucking says, okay, it's like, thank you for keeping quiet, and it's like gives him an envelope inside $50 fucking Olive Garden gift card.
I like that. I like that. I like that it wasn't a grandiose fucking gift. I like that it was something literally fine.
Olive Garden fucking gift card.
$50. Like, I'm not even sure how much $50 can get you at Olive Garden, but
the pasta never ends.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so great because you always expect a different outcome, but when it actually ends up being something different, it was so great.
I just love the curveball humor.
Yeah,
those are the kind of humor that no.
Tom even
have you had their soup?
Tom even says it. He goes, "Wow, that's a lot less than what we thought you were gonna give us."
Yeah.
I love the government so much in that world. They're shit.
Yeah, literally, they're about as competent as the government would be in Sonic's world. So,
gun.
It's just that use of comedy. Like that's a very good example as to what this movie so great at why.
Yeah, there's definitely some kid jokes, and then there's like just generally good jokes.
Yeah. Also, another thing that I do like about this movie is the attention to detail of when you get to see Sonic actually curled up in the ball because that's what he's known for. because there's this particular scene where he was trying to hide from
the egg robot
for being spotted a lot, and he decided to curl himself up into a ball.
Okay, with you're a ball.
Pack of balls, yeah. I don't know, like it's like to me, it's one of the few mysteries, and you get to wonder how Sonic the Hedgehog actually curls into a ball. And you just get to see that in the film. I thought that was
that's
pretty
nice.
Cool.
And I like that he more or less does the rolling into enemy situation, which is pretty cool. Like I said, what he did in that final fight scene, I like to imagine that was his first ever attempt at the spin dash.
Yeah,
because he charges up and then hits the opponent forward.
Because
he's taking all the kinetic energy, absorbing it, and launching it.
And if you think about it this way, Sonic 1 you can't spin dash, but in
Sonic 2, you that's what I'm saying. Yeah, in Sonic 1 you can't spin dash. When Tails was introduced in Sonic 2, he actually learned the spin dash from watching Tails' tail spin. So this makes sense to me. Like, he'll get more adjusted to his powers. So Sonic's growing as the movie's going along.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. And also, since we were talking about Tails, they made that fucker fly. Like, he zipped. Too. I was like,
yeah.
They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to fucking do that. He could have just flew. Like, he could have just did the whole, like, that little helicopter hover.
Yeah.
But no, he just said, I gotta find him. Poof. I was like, does fuck? Yeah. Does fuck? Right. He took off.
He flew. Yeah.
Right. Literally. I was like, I'm like, they didn't have to do all of that. And I already know I already have a good idea what the title's gonna look like for that one. It'll probably say Sonic, and then the 2 will be Tails' Tails. I think we can agree on that, right?
Yeah. The other thing is I see a lot of people divided about it, but I think it's because, well, I think that, everybody has their own opinions, and they're not wrong. I think there are some people that overanalyze it too much. For me, it was like I came into it like extremely low expectations, and it blew
me
my
too.
expectations.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, me too, and it exceeded our all standards. Is it a cinematic masterpiece? No,
but it's a step in the right direction.
I'm looking at it from a perspective of other movies of the same type, not like it's not fucking Casablanca, okay?
Right.
But it's a billion times better than the fucking Mario Brothers movie, and it is better than Detective Pikachu in my opinion.
It's better,
better than Hop, which is where the main actor was originally with.
I like Detective Pikachu a lot, so Sonic. To me, they handled him a lot better. They handled his story a lot better than Detective Pikachu's. Honestly,
I agree with that.
Yeah. I like the treatment Pokemon got, though. So basically, we're saying both of these video game based movies are worth watching and definitely worth having in your collection of all two, just those two video game movies.
Just between the two, I think Sonic got the better end of the stick.
Yeah,
with the movie.
Well, they got
from a comedy aspect. I feel the Sonic film. No, to me, the Sonic film really did a superb job. I mean, Jim Carrey, man, he's super gold in this film.
That's true. I mean,
I'm not saying like the Pikachu film is bad in any way. I'm just saying from like, if you want a good laugh of a good time, then the Sonic film is definitely going to be there. If you really want a good like story that genuinely has an intriguing plot from beginning to end, Detective Pikachu is the one for you. But for me, in the humor side, I really believe the Sonic film is miles better than
Detective Pikachu's story.
But it wasn't going for humor though. Detective Pikachu, it was going for more on the plot side
mystery,
of things,
like a mystery.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Detective Pikachu's story was good, but it unfortunately was only good in the context of that one movie. Where Sonic's movie was good, story was good, but it left the doorway open for another movie to come in. Detective Pikachu. Once Ryan Reynolds turns back to Ryan Reynolds, that's it. Like, you can't you can't recreate lightning. Yeah, you can't recreate lightning. No pun intended.
Also, I do want to say this. Like, between the two movies, I feel that for anyone who's just wants to watch a good movie between these two movies, I feel like Detective Pikachu has a lot more complexity built into it because you need to at least be somewhat familiar with some of the concepts.
Yeah, like a lot of the appreciation that comes from the fact that we're a hardcore Pokemon fan.
Yeah. So whereas in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, you don't need to be that familiar with it. Like,
if anything, they're making a story completely all their own, just tying in some of the stuff that we know from the source material into the story.
Yes.
Yeah, so like this is Sonic the Hedgehog, this is who he is, this is what he does, and why he's here, who's Dr. Eggman and whatnot. You don't really need that much experience with the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
And realistically, I'd say that this portrayal, Ben Schwartz's portrayal of Sonic, is somewhere between the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Boom, in terms of the character.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is like the the jail white with kind of mixing with that.
They kept Sonic, and that's one of the things too. Because the one personality trait that he showed that was so different than what I know about Sonic was the whole him traumatized because he was which would bug me in any other situation, but they only do it once. His freak out only happens once.
Yeah.
They never go back to it. They never lament on it. Sonic even has a conniption fit about almost called him Donut Lord, about Tom leaving, but he quickly goes back to fix it. Like he quickly, like, he doesn't rest on it. We don't get that dumb scene where, like, fine, I'll go my way, and Tom's like, I'll go my way, and then they play sad song. Yeah, and then they play some sad song, and Sonic's like running down a desert while he's throwing darts at a fucking thing, and then they come back together when the crisis is most dire, and he's like, I came back because I cared about you. And no, they don't do that. They literally, Sonic throws a fit about him leaving, potentially, but he immediately knows that the danger at hand is more important, so they fix it together. So he doesn't rest on the conflict. And that's what I like. That's a real human emotion. That's not a emotion. That's real. Because he knows at the end of the day they're still gonna be friends. So other than that, like I said, this movie nailed it. Like, this movie definitely did a good job keeping me entertained.
Agreed.
Yeah. Did anybody else?
With that being said, what would you rate it though? Oh, and also, Evie, go on.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna quickly say this is a film that I would rewatch again over the Pikachu.
Oh yeah. This one has more watchability. I would watch Detective Pikachu again, but only because so much time has passed. I would watch the Sonic movie again just to look for more Easter eggs and just.
That's what I was gonna say. I want to see the Easter eggs, man.
Yeah. I would pay attention to the movie more because I'm sure I missed some stuff.
And this time with a better audience, because I went there on Valentine's Day, and I'm sure people had other things in mind. And plans, so
I went on Sunday, so it wasn't as popping, but
okay. So in terms of our ratings, for me, I had to give it an 8 out of 10.
I was gonna say I give it a solid 8.
I gave Detective Pikachu, I think, a 9.5, so I'll give this a 9.625.
Really? All right. I can't remember my Detective Pikachu rating. Well, okay.
Well, you gotta remember that my rating is due to how much fun did I have watching it.
Okay.
And that metric, yeah, it's like I like, for me, if a movie doesn't get to me, then I don't give a fuck about it.
I would have to, as time has passed, I would have to give Detective Pikachu 2 different ratings. As a Pokemon movie, fucking almost a 10, like a 9, a solid 9.5, like TSS said, out of 10. Mm-hmm. As a movie, about a 6 or a 7. Leaning more towards 6.5. As time, this is because time has passed, though. Like, looking back at it. Sonic, as of right now, as a Sonic video game movie, solid 9.5.
I give it a 9 since they skewed a few things.
Yeah, well, a 9. But there's build up. So there's build up to more stuff. So we're getting more stuff. As a movie, I'm still gonna give it an 8.
Same.
I enjoyed the movie.
What about you, KG?
Personally, to me, I'd give it an 8 as well. I really had a good time with the film, and there's really nothing I can say that, hasn't been said from you guys. I'm just excited to see what's going to come from this franchise moving forward, and if there will be something bigger than what we'd expect here.
This is the weird part where I'm actually really excited to see a sequel to a movie.
Yes, for sure. I mean, that's why I like Sonic 2 better than Sonic 1.
Well,
Sonic 2 is amazing. Yeah.
Thinking about it, if all goes well, wouldn't this be like the first sequel for a video game movie? If I'm not mistaken.
No, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I was like, Tomb Raider.
Oh, that's right.
Tomb Raider's just not good. That's a problem.
Well, but it is a sequel nonetheless.
That is technically a sequel, however.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, and I'm glad they paid attention, because I was always thinking, will they put Tails in this at all? Because it's kind of hard to give Sonic a best friend if he has a best friend. But
I think what's going to happen then is I think Tails is going to find Sonic, and then the relationship will probably go over the course of the
But like, why is Tails looking for Sonic then to begin with?
That's what we're going to figure out.
Yeah.
6 years from now, for sure.
If anything, my theory is because Eggman is in another dimension that was probably similar, he probably terrorized it so much Tails invented a way to leave, get to Earth, and find Sonic.
Well, he has rings. He has the rings.
Yeah, he probably had the rings, too. My thing is, they paid attention. Tails was introduced in Sonic 2, so they're going to put him in Sonic 2.
Yeah, that is a nice attention to detail there.
Yeah.
Also, since you brought this up, I think the next Sonic movie will be a great way to introduce the Chaos Emeralds, and hopefully maybe a first glimpse at a Super Sonic.
I'm sure we're going to get Super Sonic, because Super Sonic was introduced.
Even Knuckles.
Yes, Super Sonic was introduced in Sonic 2.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Also, like, what was I gonna say? Yeah. I kind of I don't know why. This is just the nerd in me. I want the movie Tuesday.
What?
Because remember, in Sonic, when Sonic 2 came out, it was released on a Tuesday because they called it Sonic Tuesday. It was a huge Sega release. And Sonic 2 was made in 1992, hence the Sonic Tuesday thing.
It's never going to happen given film success normally tending to come on Fridays.
Yeah, they come on weekends. Jordan asked, what about Amy? I'm sure Amy's going to be in this one because technically Amy was introduced in between Sonic 1 and 2. And she was introduced to Sonic CD. And also, we need some. They're going to give Sonic a love.
Sonic CD was after Sonic 2. That came out in 93. Yeah.
Also, they're going to give Sonic a love interest. I can see the jokes writing themselves. Like,
that's my concern because I feel like Amy's going to probably ruin it.
I don't think so. I think they might handle her well.
I mean, if they handle the main cast well so far, especially with the whole aspect of you talking about Pretzel Girl and whatnot, I think there's potential for some good writing here.
Yo, Tyrone, you want a love interest for Sonic? In comes Princess Elise.
Welcome.
We don't go there, buddy. We don't go there.
Evie, you're banned.
It's the only
chicken,
way
flour, egg, seed, chicken, flour.
It's the only way Sonic can transform into Super Sonic.
Oh, yeah, according to Sonic 06, yeah.
Stop!
Bro. All right, then, so, I guess with that being said, let's go and move on into our actual review then for the Pokemon side of things, why don't we? And I have a couple of small things to say about that.
Even though we did spoil the movie, I still recommend you watch it because here's the main reason I watched it. I went into it with low expectations. I was gonna wait, but they went through the trouble of changing Sonic's design. So that means
$5 million.
Yeah, so that means they cared about us to at least put in the effort to work on the criticisms we gave. So pay respects. If they do this,
a great job with the movie anyway.
If they do that, right, and then they gave us more than what we bargained for. So that means if they do this, that means support it. Support this side support the side that doesn't get much support. Remember, we talked about anime movies and their poor treatment, video game movies and their poor treatment. Let's support this so we can get more of this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So watch it.
Yes. Highly recommend.
All right, now go ahead, KG. Sorry.
All right. No, I was just going to say, I'm excited for what's going to come. And I guess now let's go and dive into our review for Pocket Monsters 2019. I really don't know what we're going to be calling it aside from Pocket Monsters 2019, but I'm hoping we get an official title for it sometime soon.
Lumia's trainer Zach actually thought of a good idea. He said some people should call it Pokemon Let's Go.
No, that's horrible. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Also, I commented on his Twitter post about people getting the episode review out early. It's like, why don't you wait until the subs come out? Because number one, Pokemon is a kids show, and actually a lot of the dialogue is like N4 level, which you can get by just doing like 6 months to a year in Japanese. Anyway, it's very simple. It's a kids show. The only The only complex dialogue is when you have like adults talking and conspiring and shit. So for the most part, for like this episode, the dialogue was not that complex.
It's not Giovanni speaking with fucking a bunch of other Team Rocket members about their next plan or some shit.
Yeah, yep. So it wasn't that complex. So I can understand why they did that, and plus there was a lot of visual cues, which we're going to get into in a moment.
Alrighty then, so let's get into the review for this week's episode, and this one, of course, is the grand finale for our adventures in Galar for now, anyway, as this is going to be the episode that has the battle that no one thought would be happening so early on, Ash versus Leon. That, to me, still blows my mind that we're, like, episode 13? And this happened? Yeah. And the setup in this episode is so good, man. I loved everything about this episode, man. This is a great way for Ash to finally figure out what he wants to do. And the things that they've implemented into the storyline for Ash's story are stuff that I'm excited to see get developed, especially when you see Fat Chew finally come into the mix, which, of course, as everybody called, P finally showed up, and P delivers. Now, there are, of course, a lot of other little events that happen within this. I think the biggest thing of it all is that, as I mentioned last week, I was correct on what I think is going to be the route they're going to take for Ash's journey, and it's going to be battle-based. There's no such thing as gyms for, I guess, moving forward.
I want to come in on this one. They're taking the... As VGC? A competitive... I was going to say, as a competitive Pokemon battler, they're taking the competitive battling route. This is what they're doing. Basically, what they did was make invitational tournaments for Pokemon. Finally!
And the best aspect, it's not going to be, just stuck on Galar. It could be anywhere, everywhere, basically. Like, that's so great.
Because that's real. And the tournament, hell, when we went to Worlds in DC, that's what they did. What you do is that you enter a tournament. When you enter a tournament, whatever place you make, you get CP, champion points. You get championship points for it. So let's say I did really well at that tournament that I entered in DC. I would have gotten a bunch of champion points. If I get enough champion points, I am an invitated guest to be in the next tournament. I would be in regionals. Yeah, I'd be in regionals. And then if I get enough champion points there by placing, I can place. Once I place, I go to nationals. That's how that goes. And then you'll go to World. And then that's how that goes. That is the system in which that goes. And Pokemon finally doing that. I mean, granted, they're also taking a step from Best Wishes whole tournament thing, which is good. That was the
Don George thing, I think it's
and the club explosion. That was the best part of Best Wishes.
That's what everybody loved about it the most. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this approach. I love this.
Yeah, and what makes it even better is the possibilities now are limitless with this, because I'm getting Battle Frontier vibes with this whole gimmick that they're implementing here. Because Ash can technically use the Pokemon he captures now and use it throughout the whole tournament. But because it is a tournament, not every single fight's ever going to be the exact same. There's going to be new surprises that Ash needs to also bring into the table to also kind of get a bit of an edge as well in future fights. So I really do believe that this will also be a nice way to kind of reintroduce a couple of Ash's Pokemon from the past. I don't know. I really would love to see that. I think that would be a great way to kind of, retell Ash's story again. Because he's once again trying to go and become the strongest trainer in the World Championships. Kind of show what he has accomplished so far. I'm glad they kind of did that a little bit with the Battle Frontier. The whole episode they had with that. Now let's start moving a little bit further with the whole plot. Bring in Ash's old Pokemon. Put them into the mix. Everybody gets their moment of shine. Everybody's happy. Then we get to the finale. Which, by the way, can I just mention, I love the ending of this episode. Because Ash's vision.
Yes.
That vision with the song playing in the background, that gave me chills because I'm like, I can't wait. 3 years from now, man, it's going to be hype.
Now, I will say, go ahead, TSS. I'm sorry.
And this is the very first anime episode that we have two completely different remixes of the same song played in the episode.
I told you there was another version existing out there for the gym leader. That was the version I was waiting for.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Hayashi specifically made a different version, and he must have cut that straight up. It had a synth lead instead of the chant lead.
Yeah, no, because in the games there are two versions.
In video games, that's like that.
Yeah, the first version they played last week was the part where they normally do the chant, but for the first bit they removed the chant until the second half of that song was
the instrumentation was completely different.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In the because there are two versions of that moment.
Yeah, and
the beginning and the ending moment.
The chant part usually comes when trainers down to.
But the instruments are completely different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they were different in the games and are different here in the anime.
No.
Yeah,
because the instrumentation that Hayashi uses on the first one is a lot different. It has more of a guitar. It has more of the guitars are muted. In the guitars, you hear more of the guitars rather than the other one. The other one, the second one is what
I think KG's saying that it does, because it does change. Obviously, it just doesn't use the same instrument.
Obviously, that's why we're calling it different.
That's completely different musical arrangements. Two completely different musical arrangements, and because if you hear it, the start of each of those segments of those musical segments are the same. But then the instrumentation is completely different, so it's completely two different completely different compositions.
Yeah, but they still have that same the tempo.
They're obviously based on the same thing.
They're based on the same song, but they're two completely different arrangements and they're two completely separate songs.
Yeah, and that personally, the second version was what I was personally waiting for.
Well,
because that's what I was expecting that from the first time we heard it, but it was based on the chant version. This time it's based on the beginning aspects of the gym fight, and that was what I was waiting for, and it delivered. Once again, Yuki Hayashi, I don't know how this man does it, but he delivered in this episode.
Well, I would think he's probably, like I said, he's probably composing this stuff to the animation.
Yeah,
so that's why you see that it's different. It's completely different because here's the thing. Because the second arrangement in this episode for the gym theme, it's different. It's still a different playthrough than what they played during the Leon and Lance fight.
Yeah, that's why we were mentioning about the chant, because the chant was nowhere in this version at all.
Well, no, because it's on the Satoshi versus Leon fight, because the second.
Well, I mean, the fight that happened with the Dreadnought was not there.
Yes,
I guess I should say.
Yes, it's a completely different arrangement.
Yeah,
and it's not the same track.
That's what I'm saying. I'm liking that there are different flavors for everybody. Everybody will get their own favorite track. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the Versus Trainer tracks from the original Kanto series. You know, the original one, and then the remixed one, which is, I believe, the one that was used for Charizard and Magmar.
Right. But this is the first episode. This is the first anime episode to use two separate remixes of the same song.
In the same episode. It's crazy. And I'm loving that, man.
Yeah.
Once again, please, OST, come on. I believe with Yuki Hayashi, we might get a chance somewhere out there. That would be great. But, dude, I just love it. The music aspect, once again, in this episode, just delivered. I mean, I don't have to repeat myself a billion times, but it's true. The music so far has been stellar, in my opinion. You know, there's really not been a track that I've really been kind of on the miss side of things. It's really been something that's enjoyable and easily rippable too, because people so far have done a really great job on trying their best to get the SFX removed from the actual songs in itself. And I know one of our pals on our Discord has actually done a great job in trying to get the SFX removed from the Versus Battle Trainer from the Pokemon 2019 series, and it sounds really stellar, man. I'm loving it. So yeah, with that being said, though, let's actually talk about some of the gimmicks that actually went down in this app. So, of course, first of all, Fat Chew, the Thick Chew. I don't know what you want to call him. Yeah,
I will admit, and now as the person who was wrong, I will admit I was wrong, but I like this. I like the way Pikachu looked. I like his Gigantamax. because I think the problem was that I was basing it so much off of the video games, which the video game obviously is basing it off Pikachu's classic design. That's fine. But in my head, I guess because Gigantamax Pokemon can't really move much in the games, you don't get to see them, like, you don't get to see how their bodies work. Here, the Fatachu reminds me a lot of how he was drawn in late Gen 1, early Gen 2. And I can deal with that. Yeah, I can deal with that. That looks fine, actually. If Pikachu's going to look like that, I can deal with that. That's fine.
And Go looks like that and looks great.
Did you guys happen to see the Godzilla theme edit when?
Oh yeah. Yes, I did. That was so great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you need to see it, man. I gotta find a link for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great.
I'll find it in the meantime.
All right, thank you, Evie.
Mm-hmm.
But continue on, Tyrone. If there's anything else you need to say.
No, that's pretty much it. I like the way Pikachu. I like the adjustment, new body. I like how he does Max Steel Spike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where he brings his tail and slams it to the ground. Yeah.
Oh man! Also, I love the most important thing about this. I love how Pikachu has absolutely no experience with this whatsoever, and therefore that's going to be a plot point for Ash Pikachu to kind of develop.
It's also funny because Satoshi's trying to give him like regular attack commands, and he's just so fucking slow.
Yeah, like quick attack.
It's Pikachu falling that causes the max strike. That's what I think is funny. Like Pikachu's trying to do normal moves, but they turn G into Dynamax moves, and that's hilarious. Like he's trying to do Thunderbolt, but he's trying to do the animation for Thunderbolt, but he's fucking fat now, so he just slams down and does the G-Max Thunderbolt.
Yeah, which is really great. Once again, like nice little details right there. Yeah, I am just excited also as well to kind of see, once Pikachu perfects it, like how is this Pikachu going to be used in fights? Because this is something that I would consider to be Ash's weakness, if you think about it. Ash is always,
Pokemon.
Not just that, but slow Pokemon at that. Because Pikachu now is stuck in a position. He can't really move in the battlefield in his size. Especially now that he's Fat-Chew. He's not just regular Pikachu. No, he's the fat version. Therefore, it's going to be a little more difficult for him to kind of have mobility compared to, like, the Dynamax Gyarados and Charizard, who have, with their aerial mobilities in hand. Pikachu's sort of stuck underground. He tries to jump. He causes an earthquake, man. So
I understand that Pikachu doesn't do the whole Pokeball thing, so they can't do the thing where Ash returns Pikachu and big.
But so how does Ash command that?
I guess just I'm gonna say it. Their bond is so strong. The Dynamax energy is able to be more long distance with him and Pikachu.
I just want to know if Ash is able to control when. But it
also, but it also wears him out probably. Because I could see it after. I wanted to say that's what happened to him after the fight with Dreadnought.
Yeah, but that didn't happen because Pikachu sort of did it by himself. Ash had no influence on that whatsoever. And then also, speaking about that, can we just talk about Ash being drunk?
Oh, wait. That just made me realize the episode before is lead into this when Eternius showed up and Pikachu was sparking. At that moment, Pikachu was able to Gigantamax.
I wonder if Eternius gave Pikachu the Fat-Chew powers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Eternius gave Pikachu the ability to do it. He just didn't know he could do it until, it was time to fight.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, it's very interwoven.
I'm curious to see, I'm excited to see when these characters, like these key characters come in to start diving into Eternius because also, it is a key character moment.
Yeah, TSS could probably correct me on this one, but he'd probably have to check. I think, have you noticed, I think this happens, you know how the opening, the 1, 2, 3, let's go, whatever, how that opening shows up and in the middle of, sometimes they have like they'll have a visual of the episode, but then other times they'll have Zacian and Zamazenta.
Well, the other one was also Lugia, but it's just different variations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Does Zacian and Zamazenta only show up in the Galar episode?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I wasn't crazy. Good. So that means there's a plot in Galar, basically.
Well, also I need to mention as well. I actually didn't notice it until like this week, but I actually noticed that the way that they actually animated the the Pokemon Shiratori, they actually have to begin the music in the episode, and they have to count. They have a triplet at the beginning, and they start at the third count of the triplet. You probably noticed that, but I guess that's how they have to edit the episode, because apparently the visuals weren't timed properly, so they have to start the music 2 beats on the triplet, actually on the triplet, 2 beats on the triplet early, so it transitions into so it cuts into the ending. I didn't even notice that until like now, and it's always been the case since episode 2. Where,
also, the opening kind of has that as well, where they like play like a beat of the song before it actually gets to the opening visuals. If you ever notice that, it's so weird whenever I see that. It's such an odd little detail, but it's like, I guess that's a thing they're doing, but it never really bugged me nor anybody really. So, yeah, it's something that exists.
I guess they're doing that.
Rocket got Choodle, by the way.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I like that.
Still quite funny.
Oh, dude, like James freaking out and be like, ah! Oh, wait, it didn't even hurt me.
Right, I like the idea that Team Rocket got Choodle.
And then their Rotom phone not giving a fuck. That's
I like that. Oh, that also means Team Rocket is not going to always have random Pokemon. I think for a while, until the Choodle evolves into Dreadnought, probably going to still use that.
I hope that Choodle evolves into the Dreadnought, man.
Yeah, it should. I see no reason why it wouldn't.
Okay, now, with that being said, since you're talking about Gigantamaxing and all that, Meowth. Do you think it'll be G-Max?
Oh God!
I think they'll do it.
They'll do it for the lols.
I think they'll do it for a plot point, but it'll be for the lols. It'll be for the lols.
I will love that, man. Only just because I want to see how Meowth is actually going to even try to handle moving his body because of the long ass.
I think what'll happen is Meowth will do it. Pikachu will fight him, and then he'll get traumatized and never want to.
Yeah, like I think it'll be similar to what happened here in this fight with Pikachu and Dreadnought, where it's like the aura that comes underneath will engulf Meowth and then make him the cat that you see. And then, of course, Meowth will be traumatized, probably, as you mentioned. But so like I'm just excited now that this is such a good episode, and it's such a, like, if you think about it, like for anime logic, it's like 13 episodes have passed now. It's like a full season is over. Let's see what the next season has in store and what they intend to do with Ash's character now, because this is great, man.
I also like getting in how you get into Ash's character. You know, the dialogue where, you know, he needs his 10 hours of sleep.
It's like he says 24 minus 10, so that's exactly, he's like that.
The joke is funny, but then I realized when Ash goes to journeys, I'm like, I'm not sleeping most of the time, so what?
I'm loving how Ash reminds me of
you know what the funny funny thing is?
It's a joke.
The funny thing is it's more BL fuel, so
yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, it's just a harmless joke. It's got no problem.
I just like that little bit where, you know, Ash is a human being. Just you know, you gotta be reminded of
mesmerized about Leon and shit. So.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, we've been talking about all these other things, we never actually talked about the fight itself, Ash versus Leon. Which is kind of funny because it's like, it is a great fight, but
I just like the way that Leon winks at
about it.
Because the one of the staff members comes out of the building and says, "What the hell's going on out here?" And it's like, "You should call him a hero." And he winks at him.
Yeah.
That wink is iconic.
I kind of like that the fight wasn't a grandiose fight, because it shows that even though Ash won one tournament to be league champion of Alola, he still got a long way. Level.
Yeah, and also another thing as well that I liked is Ash was able to get hits out of this fight.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah,
you know, normally like if you really think about it, champions are always treated as like these tier level characters that are untouchable, man.
The best way to compare it, I won't say the Greninja one because that's a special.
And also, the Greninja one had like months of development, years.
Yeah. I'm saying, let's compare it to Pikachu versus Gardevoir in Ash's fight against Diantha the first time. It was a wash-up. Gardevoir was kicking the shit out of Pikachu in that fight. So much so to the point where Diantha didn't even have to say anything. She would blink and Gardevoir would dodge attacks. Like, that's how good they were. So this wasn't a complete wash-up. Like, Ash got hits in, and considering that, you know, Charizard's weak to electricity. Leon needed to make sure that stuff didn't happen too many times, so he did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can even see him a little worried.
All right, but yeah, so like another thing I also want to add to this as well that I'm really loving is the character dynamics that we see as well. Like I'm really happy with Leon's character.
Go-Kart Squabbit. The picture reminded me of that. It was so by the way.
Yeah, it's like, by the way, you forgot he didn't catch anything last week. He'll catch something this week. There you go, guys. You got your fill of captures.
You gotta use fucking scones, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just love the characters. Like Leon's so great, man. I love his anime adaptation that they did for him in this series. It's so good. Yes. He's such a humble guy too. He's like, listen, you saved the place. You deserve to at least get a battle with me. And he even himself was also at a point where he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to show you what a real champion time is when he decides to Gigantamax his Pokemon. Like, I love that they both, like, Leon also didn't decide to kind of just treat it like a kid fight. Like, he actually fought legitimately. He even points it out in the episode, too. He's like, listen, a serious fight is a great fight. I'm not going to just, tone it down because you're a trainer, Like, I like that aspect.
Rest in peace, Lance, by the way. He didn't get mentioned in this episode.
Who?
Exactly. He came as he went. I'm sure people got pissed. I'm sure people are pissed.
Well, then again, not every single moment of continuation brought up, right?
Well, because you're going to get the people who are mad about you're like, oh, Lance didn't even stop to see Ash. They talk every time Lance shows up in all the other series, blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't think Lance was necessary. That's probably why.
I'll say this much to the people who are kind of disappointed about that. We're in episode 13. We already have a good amount of continuation as it is. So
plus one champion here. We don't need Lance to show up.
Yeah, we have too many champions. It's oversaturation.
Yeah, so we got plenty of more opportunities, without a doubt, to satisfy.
Ash will visit Johto. Like,
or maybe not just visit Johto, just visit Hammerlock. They did point it out last week. He was somebody who trained there before.
Yeah,
so what's to say he may not appear again?
I'm sure Ash will meet Raihan or whatever.
Or it could be another key thing: the World Championships new season. He could show up there, and he could be one of Ash's fights.
Yeah.
And that's another cool thing as well. Dude, the potential that this has is great. Also, this does mean one important thing, as everybody's like, or some people are mentioning in the chat. We don't really need to bring the old rivals back, honestly. I want them this time around to be the gym leaders and the champions. To be the ones up front in this fight.
Oh yeah, they'll be in tournaments. Pretty much because of the story.
Yeah,
like in the story, they're you fight them in the tournaments.
Yeah, but I don't need those old rivals to come back. I want the champions from each region and the gym leaders from each region to kind of participate in this new season. Make things a little bit bigger at stake as well, and make things a little bit more creative too. And also, the only rivals I want to see here are the ones people want to see the most. Of course, we're talking about the ones from Galar. Marnie, Bede.
Hop.
Who?
Oh, never mind.
Exactly. So, that's what I want to see.
Younger brother, because you can't say he doesn't have a brother.
Yeah, that is true. Another thing I guess as well, like, they don't necessarily need to win a league to qualify for the World Championships from what it seems. It's just more so like, as you mentioned before,
anybody can do it.
It's a VGC. You slowly gain your ranking.
Exactly,
Get your way to the top and win.
Yeah, in VGCs, people who win the championship still got to follow the same rules everybody else did. Just because you won shit, you still got to do what everybody else does. Sign up.
Get out.
Yeah, so like him winning the Alola League, obviously it's an important milestone for Ash personally, but it's not going to get him any exclusive favors. He's still, at the end of the day, he still has to sign up in order to rank up just like everybody else.
Yes.
My only thing I'm afraid of is how the show handles rankings. I'm very confident they're going to follow through with this, though, because it's a pivotal plot point. But something scares me about when they do rankings. Like in Johto, Ash is ranked as a B trainer by the one guy who analyzes trainers with the sizzle. We never see his rank go up because that plot point is never introduced again.
But it wasn't a key point, though. That's the thing.
Well, yeah. And then, the whole, actually, ironically enough, the whole point of that was the computers can't rank you. But then they do it again in Best Wishes, where Silent states that he is a A-class. We never see him rank up, but that's only because, obviously, connoisseur classes aren't as important. The main plot or whatever. And then there was another example, X and Y, where Ash became a Baron in the Battle Chateau, and he never became any other rank. But it was a side thing, and I guess it got clumped up together with all the other stuff, and it was just too much to handle. And they were more focused on Team Flare and ending the league and doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think about ranking. This is the key
point, though. This is the key
But here, it's here that I think they made a Galar. They made it so that Ash can go travel to other regions, but Galar's going to have its own storyline.
Yes.
Yes.
And now the only important thing is, when does it begin? So here's my prediction.
It'll weave itself. Like, there'll be a bunch of episodes for Go Catches Pokemon and shenanigans. And then it'll be like, oh, we're going here because there's a tournament here.
How do you feel about that decision, Tyrone?
I like it. I think actually it's the best decision they could do. It's a mix between the problems that I had with Sun and Moon and the benefits of Best Wishes.
It's so weird to hear somebody talk about Best Wishes in a positive light.
I mean, as much shit as I give Best Wishes, and Terrell's is a brave soul.
I like the train.
Yeah, Terrell's a brave soul, but the tournament arcs were fun. The tournament arcs were probably like the best parts of Best Wishes. So if that's happening and that's the approach they're going to come at this now, I'm down. I'm absolutely down for this.
With that being said, Tyrone, what do you think about that one person's opinion about saying about Best Wishes being above XYZ, though? You know what I'm talking about, right?
About being a what?
How Best Wishes is better than X, Y, and Z in almost every aspect.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I'm just surprised that was even brought up at that point. I'm like, geez, and I thought I was bad with X, Y, and Z.
I think it's universal.
X, Y, and Z still ranks below Best Wishes for me. So,
but X and Y is high though. That's for sure.
I like X and Y.
No, X and Y I hated because, like I said, 50 episodes to get Serena up or out of her ass, and also
it was not 50 episodes. That's an exaggeration.
Sorry, 60.
60.
It was not that either.
No,
Serena did stuff in between all of that.
Cut her hair means that she changed direction. So
she did stuff in between that. She made outfits for certain Pokemon. She made VR videos.
Yeah, and guess what? I had to jump fucking ship to fucking Yokai Watch because fucking XY bored the fuck out of me.
She did the Rhyhorn racing. She conflicted with her mother. She competed in the summer camp project. Like, she did stuff.
Isn't development. That's just storytelling.
It wasn't direct, and not every character has to be set in stone immediately. Ash, I guess people completely missed that scene with Ash and Serena in the summer camp, which is fine, I guess. Ash states to her, "Look, you don't have to have everything figured out right away. We're young. We'll figure it out." Like I guess people skip that scene. Maybe they don't watch it. Maybe they forgot the episode. Maybe they skipped the episode.
It's been like,
I don't know.
How many years has it been? 6 years now since that time?
Probably, but that's a pivotal plot point that Ash brings to Serena that helps her realize that even though her goal isn't set in stone right now, she still has time. Yeah. And then she figures out her goal later after the summer camp's over. So, I don't know. I guess I pay attention to shit like that.
I pay attention to it. I just, once again, mention, I just didn't like how it all concluded.
I didn't like.
Literally, they do the exact same thing in this series. They just didn't take as long.
Now the real question comes in: can they deliver at the end? Though that's what I want to see. This is a really
nice drawing of Pikachu, and I don't.
It reminds me of the trading card game Pikachu.
Yeah, it reminds me of the trading card.
Especially the next image that's probably going to come up soon, where Pikachu jumps in the air. It reminds me of that one Pikachu card from like the old days. You know which one I'm talking about. That one Pikachu where it has like a billion tail edges on his back.
Oh, you're talking about the one they released for the movie, yeah?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one reminded me of this, so yeah. Also, I love that Dreadnought over there too, by the way.
Do we have anything to go off of on the episode, or at least preview the next one?
Oh yeah, Dragonite's back, guys! Yay!
Yeah, I did have a question in regards to today, the most recent episode, because I didn't see everything in its entirety, but did Ash keep the Dynamax band?
Yeah. Literally, Ash was about to give it back to Leon, and Leon's like, "No,
keep it."
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, also, thank you for bringing that up, Evie, because Next week, they actually showed that Ash is not going to keep that thing permanently on his wrist.
He'll only wear it probably when he's going
to Galar.
Yeah, that's fine because you can only use it in Galar. That makes sense.
So far in the story, anyway.
I'm
pretty confident in the World Championship little mini tournament.
Well, no,
that's where it's going to work.
The whole point of the whole point of Galar is that Galar is the home wishing, which power up the Pokemon needed to Dynamax. So they can't Dynamax anywhere else.
But how? So you're gonna tell me that we're not gonna really see a lot of Dynamaxing in this series? They need to find ways. I mean,
every time they go to Galar, they will, but not.
No.
13 episodes. We'll 13 episodes. 13 episodes does not signify a new opening. You're probably going to talk about 40 or 50 episodes before we talk about that.
Really? How long did it take for? Well, how long did it take for Alola for Sun and Moon to get a new opening?
Like 40.
40.
Oh shit! Okay.
No, actually, no. It got in like the 20s, but it was a remake of the Mississippi Pokemon Master.
Sometimes they get updates too. I mean,
it had to be in at least 40 because I was there for like 25 and it was still there. So
yeah, sometimes
actually,
they get
no. It was in 30. I'm sorry, it wasn't in 20. It was in 30 because that's when they played it in Akala Island.
Yeah, sometimes they'll get updates too, where like somebody will catch a new Pokemon or something.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be like Together where it's 70 episodes. So.
Oh, the
Pokemon
best wishes.
Says, yeah. Challenge accepted. They say
the best wishes opening that lasted like
how many?
Yeah, it's 81 episodes.
It was like almost 81 episodes because the best wishes one lasted all of best wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they didn't change it until Best Wishes 2.
Yeah. So there's nothing really much more I can add to this, honestly. I feel like I managed to say everything I want to say about this episode, and it's not like I don't have anything to say. It's more like when you really start thinking about it, it's a very simplistic episode, but it does the job that it needs to do.
But it develops Ash.
Exactly. And sets up a story for what is to come, and I'm excited to see what's going to go down in the next episode and the story moving forward after that. But of course, only time will tell when that time arrives.
Yeah.
So, you guys ready to go and wrap things up then for tonight?
Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah.
Sure.
And we finished on time.
Yeah, we finished right on time. So, I guess with that being said, let's go and wrap things up for tonight. Of course, everybody, once again, here on the call, we got TSS, we got Tyrone, we got Evie. Make sure to go check them out over in the description down below in the friends segment. So make sure to check them, follow them there. And, of course, aside from that, what are we doing tomorrow, by the way? I never really thought about that.
We're not doing anything.
All right, so streams, yay. At least for me, anyway. I'm going to probably figure out what to do for that.
Probably, you know, because of work and shit, it's probably going to be another week and a half.
Alrighty, so we're almost close to finishing Emerald eventually, which gives me enough time to render my Fire Red playthrough part. So that's gonna be.
I mean, literally, it's just me grinding. Grinding and then doing two things. The problem is the grinding is gonna take like fucking 6 or 7 hours, and I gotta just I have to find motivation to actually do that.
No, don't worry, man. I know the grind part is never good.
We'll probably. I mean, hell, I think we could probably pull off Fire Red as a side thing because they're both Generation 3. So we can go ahead and hop into Fire Red then, giving TSS the time needed to grind.
Yeah.
It'll be like as this storyline is happening over here, we move on over to this other story.
Hold on. Think about the Pokemon timeline. In the timeline, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald take place at the same time that Fire Red and Leaf Green take place.
That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what everybody in the chat, and of course everybody in our Facebook things will say as well.
Yeah. Or tomorrow, of course, my boy Tasso, he was here in the chat earlier, but
I saw him.
But we do have a podcast planned out, a Tasso cast planned out for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys want to stop by and hear what we had to say in regards to the recent episodes, stop by. We would really appreciate your guys' support. But really up to you whether you want to stop by the podcast or just spend time with KG. But nonetheless, if
we're gonna do the Fire Red thing, we're probably just doing recording though, so it's not like we're gonna live stream.
Exactly.
Also, I know Twilight Wings comes out tomorrow. So
Twilight Wings comes out at 8 a.m. in 8 hours from now.
Yeah. So tomorrow. Well, to me tomorrow. Tomorrow is when I wake my eyes back up for the day.
Because it's at 2200 hours Japan time, so that's 8 a.m. here.
Yeah. So
8 a.m. Eastern.
So we're looking forward to Twilight Wings. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, then. So anything else I'm missing? I'm pretty confident. I think we got everything done then.
That it? Yep.
All righty then. So thanks everybody for joining us here tonight. We had an absolute blast with all of you, and hopefully we eventually can see you guys again real soon. So with that being said, my name is KG Prestige. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will let you guys know exactly when it is that we will do for tomorrow, whether we will have a podcast, a stream for just something random, or maybe we'll actually do some recording behind the scenes stuff. We'll let you guys know via tweets. But
and of course, you guys can always look forward to our next anime edition of the PokePod. So
yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date.
Look forward to that around the end of the week.
Yes.
But yeah.
Aside from that, of course, as Evie brought up before, the TassoCast, that should also happen. Make sure to go check up on Tasso, see how that's turning out. And, send him your best regards as well if you can, by the way, as well. Because I know he had to go through something recently. It was a little unfortunate, but he's just looking to be okay, I hope.
Yeah, he got a new mic, so he said that he shouldn't experience any more audio issues.
Well, until OBS says challenge accepted, of course. Never trust the applications, buddy. That's going to always be your first downfall in life. That's what told me. Yeah, eCall 2.0. God, that word still triggers me every time I see that shit in the chat.
Well, one can only hope.
Fingers crossed, man. But yeah, if anything, just once again, have a fun time on your stream, buddy, with Tess and the others. I'll do my best to give it a watch. Yeah, so... so we're gonna call it a night. Thanks again, everybody, for being with us here, and we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody, and as always, have yourself an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Flossin', flossin', flossin'.
No, I'm not.